Hey everyone, it is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're going to get into it. This tea time is dedicated to one of Diddy's accusers, and her name is Adra English. Her lawyer wants to drop her. I had no clue that a lawyer had to get permission to drop a client. I mean, I guess in some way, shape, or form it makes sense, but if I'm a lawyer, I studied, I put in all of that work to get my degree and pass the bar. And now by default, I end up with a crazy client and I got to get permission to drop said client. That's messy. Listen, this particular case, and let's be clear as I start, I always got to give this disclaimer. All victims need to be heard, and then let the jury or the judge or whomever decide if they have enough evidence to make their accuser either pay by going to jail or pay financially. But this particular case, there's so many cases against Diddy. Hers, I thought, was on shaky ground, but now it seems like her lawyer is even saying, like, listen, I can't deal with this shit. So let's get into this story. And this Diddy case is overwhelming because the more stories we hear, the more salacious, seedy, and sadder they get, because the latest case we heard against Diddy, that apparently there is a victim that was only 9 years old at the time of the violation at the hands of Diddy, allegedly. And that is extremely sad. So Diddy accuser Adra English attorney wants off her case. Said, I can't work with her. That's messy. The XP star accusing Diddy of ST in her at his white parties is likely about to be in need of new legal representation, because the lawyer handling the case is asking the judge to cut her loose. According to new docs obtained by TMZ, Adra English attorney Ariel Mitchell-Kidd wants to withdraw from the case, claiming Adra is giving her conflicting instructions that make it impossible for her to represent her. Listen, so some of these accusers, are jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak. And then there's others that unfortunately were actually truly violated, and I gotta say allegedly, by Diddy, right? So this Mitchell-Kidd, and this is the attorney for Adra, also says there's been a breakdown in the attorney-client relationship. She claims there are irreconcilable differences between them, and said Adrea's tone and lack of respect in her continued behavior and self-destructive activities have made it impossible for Mitchell-Kidd to continue representing her. So here's the thing. When you lawyer up, you should also shut up. That should be a slogan for these lawyers. When you lawyer up, shut up. Go by my direction. Don't do no interviews. Don't do no podcast. Don't let the newspaper call you and you have a comment. The only comment you should have is speak to my lawyer, and my lawyer's name is da. Okay? You should not be out here once you have lawyered up continuing to run your mouth, because anything you say can and will be used against you. So you got to lawyer up and shut up. But we'll continue. And I have a feeling this Adra been running her mouth. You got to shut up once you lawyer up. TMZ broke the story. Adra filed a bombshell lawsuit against Diddy back in July, accusing him of SANST. Now, this is the lawyer that once offered a case. This was her back in July, pretty much telling TMZ that, the feds are coming. They're about to arrest Diddy any day now. Now, I think a lot of these lawyers, not just her, I said it about Diddy's lawyer too, Mark, they doing too much talking too. So they don't even, the memo I want them to send, they need to adhere to it too. Shut up until you win. When you win for your client, then you come out and you say everything you want to say. Okay? You tell us all the business, but until then, you shouldn't. Now, if you notice his background, and listen, people, it matters. It matters when you're at this level. You're a lawyer. First of all, I feel like she's in her personal home with her personal pictures in the background. That's a no-no. Okay. And then I feel like she put in 2110 too. Why would you have behind you, if you notice there's an old Vibe magazine, and that is Sean Combs in the back on the back. Why would that be the background? Girl, you want people to take you seriously. You're a lawyer. You got clients who are accusing that man of some very heinous crimes. You need to be serious. To me, she should have had either a white shirt on with a black blazer, a blue blazer. This is just me talking. Y'all can let me know if I'm wrong. Now, this is, like I said, back in July, but let's hear her tell TMZ how she knew pretty much that they was coming for Diddy any day now. Hold on. Mute that until I can skip this ad. So Mitchell-Kidd, this is attorney, joined TMZ a week live a week after filing the suit, and told us Diddy indictment was imminent and the feds eventually will be arresting him.
Where are you and your client with respect to the federal investigation?
So at this time, I can't go into details about that situation. There will be a time where we can talk about that very shortly. I do not want to impede the federal government or anything that they're doing, or to halt or prevent anything that they're doing by preliminarily saying anything or doing anything.
Can I just pick up on something you said?
You
said very shortly.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. I was just going to go like, I know that I understand what you're saying, that you don't want to interfere with what the feds are doing, but you understand when you say very shortly,
there's something coming down.
Shortly can be perceived anyway. You know, it might be a couple of weeks, it might be a couple of months. But I know that there is a finish line that we kind of came in at the end of, and something will be happening sooner rather than later. We're not the first, the second, the seventh, or the ninth people to come out and accuse Mr. Combs of these very, very heinous crimes. We've seen video of at least a snippet of what he did to Miss Ventura. And it just seems like, in addition to what he did that we saw with the planes and the whitewater rafting, him removing all of his Instagram posts, including the apology video, it just really gives a big slap in the face and F you that he is not remorseful for any of his actions. He could care less about how many people come forward. And I think he thinks he's invincible. Honestly, more than anything, I see this as him checking off bucket item lists because he knows what's coming down. He knows it's only a matter of time. The clock is ticking. The walls are closing in. And sooner or later, he'll be behind bars.
In a way, she contradicted herself, right? She was like, he's doing all this stuff. Like, so before Diddy actually got arrested, he did go on whitewater rafting. He was just seemed like he was just continuing to live his life. Well, they said he did a FOs in 2024. So yeah, he was really continuing to live his life. But then she also flipped and said, well, he's probably looking at this as a bucket list. Let me have my last hurrah before they do lock me up. Who knows what's going on in Diddy head when you got someone that has these multiple addictions, addicted to substances, addicted to, sex, addicted to so many things. And then on top of his addictions, just seems to have no problem allegedly violating people. And you're talking about a very, very, very sick individual. So he has so many things going on in his mind. I really believe he thinks that he did nothing wrong. I think he convinced himself like, I did nothing wrong. How can you convince yourself of that when you gotta have known that you literally violated people? I don't know. So Mitchell, where was I at? Told us about Diddy, and the feds eventually arrested Diddy in September and threw him in jail. He is going for a third attempt at trying to get out on bail. With all of these recent lawsuits, I doubt, no matter what his lawyers say, that they're going to be able to get him out. As we first told you, Adra, a former Peace star whose name was Amonique, filed a police report in Miami in August, detailing many of the same claims against Diddy she laid out in her lawsuit. Now, I'm learning a lot of legal stuff as following this Diddy case. I didn't know that at any given time, no matter when the crime happened, you can go back and backtrack and go ahead and file a police report. I got to look more into that, but apparently you can, because what happened to her happened over 2 decades ago, and she recently did a police report. This Adra. Now Mitchell-Kidd wants a clean break from Adra, and she says the case is still early enough in the process to where Adra won't be negatively impacted by getting a new attorney. For his part, Diddy has denied Adra's allegations. Well, he denied all allegations, right? A spokesperson for Diddy tells TMZ less than 3 months after filing her lawsuit against Sean Combs, Adra English has been dropped by both of her attorneys after making completely fabricated statements. In papers filed in the courts today, her former attorney cited that Ms. English's questionable antics and undermining behavior. As we said from the start, anyone could file a lawsuit without proof, and this case is a clear example of that. English escalated things by filing false police reports and making baseless claims, using high-profile events as backdrop to harm innocent people. No matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never SA'd or ST'd anyone. So I've been saying this for months, like when I talk about this situation, that I can't say for fact what is she telling the truth or not telling the truth, right? Not psychic. I'm not her. This is all my opinion. But situations like this are worded that way, where you have someone that's putting 20 on 10. It muddies the waters, and it impacts the people who are completely clear on their situation, clearly telling the truth about what happened to them, because then a jury got in their mind, well, if I'll use my own name, so I won't be saying Adra, if Diva lied, then what would stop us from believing that all of these other people are not lying just because they want a money grab? It muddies the water. And I hope that we don't have too many more like this situation in the pool that has filed their civil lawsuit. Listen, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video.